I'm starting today in Nanaimo and driving on Highway 19 to Parksville. From there, I'll take Highway 4 through the mountains and drive via Port Alberni to the Pacific Ocean at Ucluelet. There's a lighthouse trail there. Afterward, I'll drive into the rainforest toward Tofino. The tour is 400 kilometers long and takes about 6 hours. I'm here on the west side of Vancouver Island, right by the ocean in a parking lot from which you can hike the lighthouse trail. I'm about to start my hike to the lighthouse. If you look into the forest here, you can see that is all primeval forest. The forest is no longer used for commercial purposes. Here are some important signs about the tsunami zone we are in. You should pay attention to these signs as well. Now we are entering the rainforest. We'll follow the Pacific Wildlife Trail through the trees to an information board. There we'll get an overview over the entire route we'll be hiking. The Wildlife Trail is 2.6 kilometers long in total. There are many plants to admire along the Wildlife Trail. At some points, there are information panels describing the plants found here. Due to the heavy rainfall, the vegetation is still very lush even in October. I keep going back to the information boards and benches for a short rest. Later in the year, winter will arrive here too. We've arrived at the lighthouse. There's an information panel here about the animals that live here, especially the cougar, the bear, and the wolf. This is interesting for anyone hiking here. It says, "You are in wildlife country. Avoid wildlife conflicts."
Stand tall, never gonna fall. Determination in our eyes, we'll rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face. We stand proud and chase. Aim high.
There's a sign here that says Wild Pacific Trail. That's exactly the trail we hiked. The trail continues from here, of course. Besides the bear, the wolf, and the cougar, there are also a few other interesting animals in the water here. The gray wall, the killer whale, the sea lion, and the sea otter. That would be the whale trail. Here we have the beautiful lighthouse.
Stand tall, never gonna fall. Determination in our eyes, we'll rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face.
This is a typical coastal area. Further north, there's also a beautiful sandy beach where you can swim. In stormy weather, things look a bit different here. There's a sign here about the sea foam. To the highly rugged, rocky landscape, the water splashes all the way up onto the trail. That's certainly interesting and perhaps sometimes dangerous. We'll continue on soon. It's always interesting to see these beautiful plants here in the primal forest. It's always interesting and wonderful to vacation on Vancouver Island, a very diverse island with mountains. Even in the high mountains, there are many interesting lakes to explore. The island is almost 500 kilometers long and over 100 kilometers wide. On the west side, facing to the Pacific Ocean, you will find these magnificent bays with their rock formations, and further north, a beautiful sandy beach. The island is suitable for families with children, for camping, hiking and cycling. There's also a rainforest and a primeval forest here, and it rains occasionally. This is Ucluelet Marina. On my way to the Pacific Rim National Park and the rainforest, I stopped here for another break. It's a beautiful day, blue skies, and it's worth spending some time here. I arrived here at Highway 4, at the parking lot of the Pacific Rim National Park's rainforest. There are 2 trails here for exploring the rainforest. Rainforest Trail A and B. A day pass is required for both trails and can be purchased from the machine here or at the National Park Visitor Center. Both trails are about 1 kilometer long. I haven't hiked this one before. I hiked the other one last year. I'm excited. It's always something special for me to be in a rainforest. These are what's called cold rainforests, as opposed to tropical rainforests. The trees here can grow to over 50 meters tall.
Stand tall, never gonna fall. Determination in our eyes will rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face.
Everything here is so exciting. Where the boardwalk begins, it gets really interesting and sometimes quite dangerous. We are walking across the boardwalk here. On the left we can see the water, and on the right there's also water, but it's barely visible because of the dense vegetation. We don't know how deep the water is. It's really a unique world here in the rainforest. It's really interesting to see the vegetation. If the footbridge weren't built, we couldn't get through here at all. The old fallen trees are lying on top of each other. There's water that has collected underneath them. It's a good thing we have the footbridge here. It helped us a lot.
Stand tall, never gonna fall. Determination in our eyes will rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face. We stand proud and chase. Aim high. Aim high. From every setback, we find strength to attack. Oh yeah. Rise up, rise up, rise up. We gonna climb up the top. Rise up, elevate and never stop. Claim it. Rise up, claim it. We light the spark within. We gon' win, yeah.
The path is often challenging. Challenging because you have to climb up or down. not exactly suitable for wheelchair users or parents with strollers. Children who can walk here independently should be at least 4 years old to safely navigate the walkways. Many of these walkways have no railings. In some places, they have railings on one side, and where it's particularly dangerous, they have railings on both sides. Climbing is required everywhere. It's always interesting to linger. Moss has formed on many tree trunks and branches. Those seeking adventure will find it here. The walk through the rainforest takes about 1 to 1.5 hours. Of course, you can stay longer if you take the time to admire the plants. There are platforms at some points where you can take a break. Information panels describing the vegetation can also be found here. Sometimes you can hear the water flowing beneath the plants. The humidity here in the rainforest is particularly high, especially in some places after recent rainfall. As a result, the boardwalk planks are very damp and slippery in many spots. It is highly recommended to wear hiking boots to ensure good traction. You are essentially on your own. Everyone is responsible for their own safety here. There's no staff or supervisors on site. The question remains, when are we allowed to hike this trail? What time are we allowed to use it? There's a sign at the parking lot. It recommends using the trail from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please check the sign for the current information. The details may have changed since then. The national park dictates the rules. After 4 p.m. you can't expect any assistance in an emergency because no one else is around. Wild animals, storms, hail, and wind can be dangerous. Right now, the trail is in an excellent condition. Everything is perfect. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful path. I'm crossing the bridge over an old tree trunk now. It must be several hundred years old. It's supporting me. Oh yes, some of you might be thinking, that's no problem at all. I still have my smartphone. But be careful, we are in Canada. In many places here, you have very good cell phone reception. But there are also large areas where you have no cell phone reception. I didn't even check it here. I can't tell you. I was so captivated while hiking the trail that I didn't even look at my smartphone. I'm simply enjoying hiking the trail. Oh, now I remember. I'm walking through the rainforest here and I saw the wildlife sign in the parking lot. It says, there are bears, cougars, and wolves here. I haven't seen a single animal yet. Well, it's a good thing I haven't. It probably would have been dangerous. You have to be careful and always on your guard. My tour here in the rainforest is now coming to an end. I'll drive a few more kilometers south and visit Florencia Bay. There's a beautiful beach there that I'd like to see. I drove south on Highway 4 and reached Florencia Bay. Here there is a signpost showing 4 ways to reach the beach on the Pacific Ocean. I've arrived here on the Pacific Ocean beach. From a platform I have a beautiful view of the sea. You can see the white sand. One of the trails continues right away, leading to a beach access point. But be careful, there's another information panel. What do you need to be aware of there? It warns of a current that leads out to sea. You should definitely be careful there. Here's another very nice view of the beach access point down to the sea. If you get a little closer to the edge of the path, you can see the amount of driftwood down there. It's not just wood from the forest, but also from ships that have run aground here. I've arrived right here on the Pacific Ocean beach in Florencia Bay and have a beautiful view of the sea, the rainforest and the beach. A lot of wood has been lying here for hundreds of years. My day is now coming to an end as I head back to Nanaimo. I'm currently on Highway 4, heading back to Nanaimo. I'll be passing Kennedy Lake, Sprout Lake, and Port Alberni before rejoining Highway 19. The road continues through the construction zone for a short distance. The highway is being repaired here, force damage is being addressed, and it's being resurfaced. Highway 4 is generally a 2-lane highway. However, in some sections in the mountains, it has 3 or 4 lanes. Tomorrow I'm starting a new tour. I'm going along highways 19 and 4 to Cameron Lake. There's a primeval forest at Cameron Lake. The trees there are up to 80 meters tall. I'm excited. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription.
Stand tall, never gonna fall. Determination in our eyes, we'll rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face. We stand proud and chase.